All right, so for your season's assessment, you need to look up a bunch of information about the sun on the two solstices for Boston and for a city that you choose. So I'm going to use Boston as an example and show you how to use this website to find the info. So here we are on timeanddate.com. You need to choose the Sun, Moon, and Space tab and choose Sun Calculator. Then you need to put in the city that you are looking up. So we will do Boston together. Scroll down, and there is this large table of information about the sun for every day. So let's start with June because that is when the summer solstice is. So choose June out of the drop down, click go. And then the table refreshes with information for June. So we need to go down to June 21st, which is the summer solstice. So here is all the information about the sun that you need for June 21st. So in your table, the first thing you want is the sunrise location. What degree on the horizon did it rise, and that is right here. So you can see on June 21st in Boston, the sun rises at 57 degrees. So that's what you add to your table. And then the sun sets at 303 degrees. So write that in. The solar angle at noon, so how many degrees above the horizon does it get at the highest on this day, is over here on the right, and you can see it's 71.1 degrees. Hours of daylight on this day are back here, so 15 hours, 17 minutes, and 4 seconds. So we don't need to go to the seconds. So just 15 hours and 17 minutes is what you write into your table. Okay, so that's all the sun information. Now we need temperature info. So we're going to go back up, and here is the tab that says weather, and at the bottom is the climate averages choice. So choosing June, we have this nice graphic, and below it there are averages for the entire month, and you can see that the average high temperature is 76 degrees, and the average low temperature is 59 degrees. Okay, so we're going to repeat this for the winter information, and since we're here, I'll go ahead and get the climate data for December by choosing December in the drop down. High temperature average 42 degrees goes in your table. Low temperature average 29 degrees goes in your table. And then we need to go back to the sun and moon info to get the December solstice sun. So we have to click over to sunrise and sunset, and then go down, and you can see because it is December when we're doing this, that's the table that's open, which is great. So we're just going to go down to December 21st, which is the winter solstice. Sun rises at 122 degrees and sets at 238 degrees. Solar angle at noon is 24.2 degrees. And finally, hours of daylight, 9 hours and 4 minutes. So this is the data table for Boston that I just showed you how to find all this information. The only step remaining then is for you to do the subtraction to see the difference between the two solstices. And that's straightforward with the exception of this time. If you've never subtracted times before, it can be a little bit tricky, and I want to show you a quick shortcut because that's not what we're trying to assess here. So I just went to Google and I put in subtract times, and I'm going to choose this first calculator that comes up, and then you just put in your time. So we're going to take 15 hours 17 minutes, and subtract from that the 9 hours and 4 minutes. Hit calculate. And there it is. The difference is 6 hours and 13 minutes. Okay, so I want to show you how to draw your sun paths on the sun tracker. And to start with, you can see that I have drawn in some more of the degree values around our circle, around our horizon circle. So every hatch mark represents 15 degrees. So I just labeled some more so it was a little bit easier. So you might want to do that as well. And then I'm going to choose a red pen to use to mark our summer solstice. So first start by coloring in the key with the red color. And we've previously found out that in Boston, the sun rises on the summer solstice at 57 degrees. So a little bit before 60, I'm going to put a red X. And then sunset happens at 303 degrees. So all the way around the circle to about here. And the sun angle is 71 degrees at solar noon on the summer solstice. So coming up to the sky and putting an X at 71 degrees. Now we have the 3 points we need to draw our track, and do it a little bit curved tends to look a little bit easier to read. So there's the approximate path of the sun through the sky on the solstice, summer solstice. And now let's do the winter. So I'm going to switch to a blue pen. So for the winter color. So sun rises at 122 degrees, which is about here. Sets at 238, which is about here. And the highest angle is 24 degrees, so only here. So same process, sort of a little roundy line there. And that is our winter sun path. And then the only last thing I need to tell you is notice that we made sure to put our solar angle value on the southern part of the sky, because that is what happens in the northern hemisphere. When you are adding your lines for your city, if your city is in the southern hemisphere, you need to be careful to plot those sun angles to the north, because that's what happens in the southern hemisphere. Okay.